Today, I'm going to be diving into the most powerful advertising option available anywhere. Before hopping in, let me introduce myself. My name's Trip, and I help brew pubs and breweries develop successful advertising and marketing strategies to enhance their business and personal lives. Let's not wait any longer. Let's dive into things. When we first talk about the power of an advertising option, a couple things come to mind. It's got to be something I can control when it's seen by potential customers, that kind of control. And it's got to be something that can generate an almost instantaneous reaction. And it's got to be something that's proven to work time and time and time again. Now, I'm going to share a story with you. A client, Tony, who unfortunately is no longer with us. He was a wonderful guy, and I had created loads of successful marketing campaigns and ads over the year for him and his business. Now, I had a postcard I wanted him to use to his customer list. That's the key with that postcard. And it was a concept that I had used for many years, and it never failed. Tons of different clients had used it. But Tony was reluctant for some reason. And I didn't know why. I regularly did mailers for him, and they had generated millions of dollars in sales. And he and I had a lot of trust, and I had really proven myself with him. But this card, it was always a hard no. Now, when he would ask me for a concept, if this card was the best option I could think of, I would bring it up again. Listen, I could be a little thick and hard-headed sometimes. Well, one day that scenario was playing itself out, and he didn't say no when I brought it up. Now, he didn't say yes either. Instead, he brought in one of his managers to get his opinion. I explained everything to Tony's manager, who was justifiably a bit skeptical. He gave me some of the pushback, using a lot of stuff Tony had mentioned. And to be honest, at one point, I thought Tony was using this manager to tell me no, and in a once and for all kind of scenario. But I went ahead, I laid everything out for the manager, and I found out that his department did spectacularly, except for one bad week a year. It happened to be the week between Christmas and New Year's. Other than that time, they were pretty much full to capacity. So that became my marching orders, to generate business when there is none, that Christmas to New Year period. When I had everything laid out and ready to go, to be honest, I had some trepidation. They had tried tons of stuff over the years for this one terrible week each year, and everything had fallen on its face. Now, on the other hand, I had never had a poor result from this postcard, and it's been mailed countless times. So I thought, hey, I got to trust this thing. It's always worked. We mailed my postcard to Tony's customer list, and it was all I could think about when I was walking in to meet with Tony for the first time in the new year. Tony, in the midst of closing out the year, hadn't given it a second thought. So he calls in his manager, and there we are. We're sitting together in his office, and I'm dying to know how that postcard did. As we wait for his manager to arrive, Tony's bracing me to hear a bad report. I told you he was a good guy. His manager sees me in Tony's office, and without prompting, he begins to gush about the card and the results. He mentioned that it was incredible. They saw customers they hadn't seen in years and years. It generated a massive amount of business, people coming in and spending money, and that's the key, right? In fact, it ended up being in the top 15 weeks of the year for this company. Now, remember, the postcard, when it was mailed, that went into normally the very worst week of the year. Needless to say, going forward, my postcard dropped every year for that same week each year. Now, here's why this story is important to you. Direct mail done right is a complete game changer. After spending countless millions on advertising for myself and my clients, there's nothing that's generated the same level of response, the same level of sales as direct mail. Now, if you're shaking your head saying, that's not what I've experienced, let me share why you're feeling that way. I've been told that by almost every client I ever work with at the beginning, but we almost always mailed numerous times a year, many week in, week out for years. This is what you've got to do. You've got to think about direct mail like a chain. And with any chain, it's only as strong as its weakest link. Direct mail has three major parts: the list, the offer, and how it's delivered. If any one of these is weak, your direct mail campaign is going to be weak. Let's cover a couple of examples. Let's say there's a list of people who are terrified to fly on a plane, and you send them an incredible offer for never before seen low prices for flights. Do you think you're going to get a great response? No, because it's the right offer to the wrong list. Send that same offer to a list of frequent travelers, and you've got a home run. The opposite will also fail. If you have a weak offer to the right list, you're not going to have a winner either. It's going to fall well short of what it could be. Now, another example, you've got a list of pool shoppers, and your offer is the lowest price ever on pools. It's got to be a guaranteed winner, right? Not so fast, because if it's mailed in the wrong vehicle, in the wrong manner, delivery is delayed, and a lot of folks never see the offer or see it and it's already the fall. You know what you've got there? Another weak direct mail campaign. People won't act because you didn't get it to them in the right package and in the right timing. So here's the thing. Right now, go ahead, give me a follow. I'm going to provide you with step-by-step solutions to ensure your direct mail campaigns are winners. Put send down below, and I'll send that guide to help you. Before you discount this, here's something that makes direct mail the best business builder. Your competitors can't really copy you. Sure, they can send a postcard or letter that looks just like yours, but they don't have the same list, and that will fall flat on its face. How do I know this? I've had customers show me people who sold them direct mail pieces, and they had failed. Guess what those pieces were? They were copies of my pieces. I've even had some of those people who copy it, some direct mail guys, try and contact me to sell me my piece to sell to my clients. But the thing is, if you don't have it all together, if one thing is wrong, it's going to fail. Remember the weak chain. Now, go ahead, give me a follow, drop send. I'll get that guide over to you. And you know what? If you do that, your business will be glad, and so will you.